everyone, and welcome to the Driver's Room. We are back with the Festival of Speed. This is Season 4, Round 6, coming today from Tokyo Expressway, the Central Inner Loop. So, we'll head on down to the grid now, and we'll see how the guys got on during qualifying. So, we'll look on down the grid now and see how the guys line up after qualifying. Every guy on the grid is starting with super soft tires, so we'll head on down. So in first place we've got Flapjack taking pole ahead of Desla in second. Desla's been running Flapjack pretty close all season. For Sendit Racing, just one or two mistakes here and there has pepped him back. In third we've got Sean for Neon Knights. In fourth we've got Mung for Wrecking Ball. In fifth, we've got Speed for Big Scary Goat Speed. In sixth, Mr. Driver's Room, MJR Mercer. In seventh, we have Rocker. And in eighth, we've got John Willemegan. That's the grid and how they line up. A little bit of a juice grid here today at Tokyo for Tier 1. We'll see how they get on when the lights go green and they hit the track in anger. Join us now on the grid. A little bit of reduced camera angles here, squeezing in down the side, looking ahead to Flapjack. He's got Sean just behind him in third, and they're away as the lights go out. And Flapjack's got a fantastic start away. He's pulling away from Deza, leading the pack into turn one. Deza's got a decent start, gapped a little bit back to Sean. Sean a little bit sluggish away. Can be Sean's Achilles heel the starts, but needs to be careful because he's got Mungino crawling all over the back of him and Speed just behind him. Tokyo's are a track that you can really attack, but you need to be careful with these barriers. They can really cost you time through the lap, bumping them here and there compared to somebody keeping it nice and clean. Everybody's away. John Willemegan just with a little bit of a slower start. The sole driver for a Honey Badger in Tier 1. Flapjack just trying to streak away. These cars being the Group 3 GT versions have got plenty of grip. Plenty of downforce. You see Flapjack there going into a corner that the gear indicator was saying third, just down to fifth and through. It's going to be a race about mistakes, I think, rather than anyone being quicker. Unfortunately, we're not going to see massive dogfightings because it is a narrow track, so it does give you pretty much one line through most of it. And if you're in a train, you see Speed there just catching off the tunnel. If you're in a train of cars, you're pretty much gonna just balance out. The very good looking Wrecking Ball racing car there of Mungino. A little bit biased because I drive one. And we see Speed is making a go on Mung. Mung must have had a little bit of a slow exit out the corner. Just lets him go through. As we see Speed now gets it all wrong. Mung dives up the inside, a little bit of contact, but that's just pinball physics of Gran Turismo, unfortunately. As Mung then got it wrong, and that's gives Speed the run on him. All in the meanwhile, this is giving this man a chance to break away, forget about them and catch up to Desla. So Sean is closing in on the front two. Desla dropped back for Flapjack a little bit. I'd say Desla's maybe had a little bit of contact with a barrier somewhere, and Flapjack's just been able to streak away a little bit. And Sean freed up by Mung and Speed battling. Speed's picked up 1.4 seconds, probably a 1.5 second penalty, but burnt a little bit off there. We'll get them around here. Not sure what settings were put on for wall impacts because they can get a little bit daft at times. I think it was seen in our Endurance Championship, they got rather out of hand with 1 or 2 drivers. But obviously the RFS runs slightly different. As we see Sean now, he's taking a look up the inside of Desert. Will he have him under brakes? Desert does a fantastic move, just outbrakes Sean. Just puts the car round the outside, balls to the wall. No fear there from Desert. Great defense from Sean. Luckily, Sean seen he didn't have the move done. As if he still tried to send it through there, that could have got messy quickly. Both drivers would have been tumbling down the order. Mercer now in a little bit on his own with Rocket trying to close in behind him. Rocket just fighting the oversteer there of the Ferrari. Maybe he hasn't got it quite dialed in for Tokyo. It's a decent car, I think, in my personal opinion, that the Ferrari, if you can get it dialed in. We are allowed tuning here at on DRFS. If you're new to the video series, if you're not new to the series, you know that, of course. If you can get this car dialed in, I think it's pretty good. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't. It did get some great battles going, as we've seen in the videos. Poor John Willemegan way out the back. Car looks in pretty good shape, so maybe just not got the speed the other guys have around here today. Flapjack setting purple sector. He hasn't took fastest lap yet, but he's still creeping away. Desert still holding off Sean. Sean is the man with the fastest lap at the moment on lap 2. See both cars just slightly drifting there through that left-hander. Sean has got a very good run using the slipstream. It's going to be difficult to get through around here. He just tucks back in behind. A sensible head there from Sean. We have seen sometimes around Tokyo in some of the series, some drivers will just see a gap and go for it when it's really not on at that moment. It just causes a little bit of argy-bargy, but Sean being very sensible there. Mung's breaking away from speed now. A little bit of damage to the front of the Ferrari of Mungino. He's trying to hunt down Sean and Dazzler ahead. You see now we're on lap 6, speed still carrying that penalty. It's down to a second. I think it's only one spot. I think it's actually burning off, so he's losing about a tenth a lap of that penalty. We don't really enforce him too much. Oh, there we see him pick up another 1.5 second penalty, slamming into the wall. We don't enforce him too much in any of our series currently. I know there's ongoing talks for some series maybe to start implementing some ideas. Our Endurance Championship runs a clean race bonus, which basically if you don't get a red dot, you have a clean race with no penalties. I think there's talk of maybe this series going the same way, but there's a lot of to and front. Oh, see speed gets it all out of shape. Coming out that quick right-hander. Picks up another penalty as well. This is where Tokyo can start to bite you, gets in your head, and those penalties just increase and increase and increase. But hopefully speed can take a lap or two to settle down and start again. Set off after this man. He's still not too far behind, but any more mistakes like that, he will start to go backwards towards Mercer, which he would, I'm sure, like to see. Sean's still stuck behind Desert. You see John now heading into the pits. Hopefully it's not because he's had enough. He's struggling on pace today. Can be very quick, John, when he gets the car and everything right. He's a dark horse in some races, some people see. There's a little bit of damage as well, just the front end of the Ferrari. Sean's dropped back a bit from him now. Sean's still holding fastest lap, so Flapjack hasn't managed to take it yet. Mungino really getting up behind Sean now. Sean maybe just starting to struggle with that right rear. The rights are taking a pounding on this track. The tyres, sorry. Monk really closing in fast now. See Sean, yeah, just slightly drifting around there, but that's a quick way to get around. You're taking as much speed as you can, holding the car just on the edge of losing all control, but it's gonna chew that tyre that you're getting. A little bit of damage on. You see Monk getting the run through the slipstream again, like Sean just knew it wasn't going to happen, back down. That's the problem with that. As we see, Des has jumped in, Sean's also going to jump in, Mungino carries on. That's the problem we've seen in some of the other videos earlier on from the Endurance Championship at least. That straight, you could just get the run, but the straight ran out too quickly. Because you're both carrying so much speed, you do get a slight overrun. Speed's jumped into the pits as well. It's just not enough to make the move stick. Mercer didn't. Rocker also jumped in, sorry. Mung now looking like he's starting to struggle, just bouncing off the wall there. Sean will get that position back when Mung goes into the pits. Just depends on whether Mung's going to try and push it to the 15-minute mark. Obviously these are half-an-hour races, so most of the guys, there are going to be 2 stopping. Mung might see if he can go to 1 stop. Mung's normally very good at looking after the tyres and the fuel, but these cars, especially around here, don't think should need fuel. Flapjack's diving into the pits. And there goes Monk. So Dazzler has come. Flapjack's just out in front of Dazzler. Dazzler's going to be chomping at the bit now, trying to get past. Will he be able to have? He's got fresher tyres. They're up to temperature. I'll get that right. Flapjack's got fresher tyres, but Dazzler's are up to temperature. Whereas Flapjack's are going to be cold. Look at Dazzler all over the back of Flapjack now. He's seriously pushing hard now, trying to get past, just make that extra grip, but he's losing out there just a little bit in the wash. Oh, the dirty air. So he's gonna lose out on downforce, a little bit of traction, and that I think is that for that battle. As we see John just getting out the way there as he's being lapped by these guys. Great effort from John there, just not get involved. There again you can see him scraping along the wall, trying to get way out the way. That's off to that man now. Mungino giving him a flash of the hazards just to say thank you. Mung is still just as close to Sean as he was before the pits, so hasn't lost, hasn't gained running that extra lap. Let's see, can he put any sort of pressure onto Sean, force a mistake, or just close up? We'll jump on board with the Biscuit King. Sorry, the guardian of biscuits, the protector of crumbs, Mungino. See if he can put Mr. Sean under a bit of pressure he wouldn't be looking for. I see Sean just running wide there, clipping a barrier. That is going to lose him a little bit of momentum. Speak much, do you, Craig? See Mung just closing up a little bit there, and Sean grazing the barrier again. Mung is to get the slipstream, like I said, along this straight. And the problem being is you reach this corner and then followed by this left double apex left way too quickly. You need to be like on the bumper of the car in front going onto that straight, which is hard to do through that fast left-hander up the hill. You're going to be losing a little bit of downforce compared to in front, but if you can hold it and keep it up behind them, you will have a good opportunity at passing down that straight. But if you're a car length or two behind, it's going to be a no-no. See, John has entered the pits again. I think that could be... Oh, he's changing from the softs to the super softs. Softs probably not the tyre to be on. You know, Mung hasn't really been able to make any inroads to Mr. Sean. We'll take a run through the field now as we're approaching the halfway mark. Flapjack is still in the lead. Not quite got the fastest lap yet, so at the minute he holds pole position and he's leading the race. Can he get the fastest lap and take the hat trick for this DRFS race? Dazzler in second. He's dropped back a little bit, but he's been second the whole race. He's keeping Flapjack honest. We'll be looking to, I'm sure, get up behind Flapjack and see if he can force a mistake out of him. Mr. Sean is holding on to third. He's had some battles with Dazzler, but dropped back off from him, and Mung has put him under pressure, but he's gapped him a little bit now after the pit stops. Mung going strong in fourth, setting purple again. He's threatening his fastest lap, which Mr. Sean, I'm pretty sure, still holds. Mr. Sean must have been bouncing off the walls there. Look at the space Mung has clawed up on those past few corners. Sorry, my teeth must be loose because I'm really struggling to talk. Now look, see what I mean there. I don't think Mung is close enough. He's not even going to bother with the slipstream. He knows it's not going to happen. You have to be really, really uptight to the car in front to make that stick up there. We'll just go away from these for a second. So then you got Mercer in fifth, and Rocker in sixth, and John is in seventh. I'm pretty sure we've lost somebody. Yep, we have lost speed, unfortunately, so we're down to 7 drivers. See, John's car just goes in there as he's losing his penalty, and Sean is still holding on from Mungino. A great battle from these two. Mung is not letting up with the pressure. See him just trying to squeeze every inch out of that Ferrari. Just take a look at the timing screens and see, yes, Sean is still holding the fastest lap on 110.283, yes, 238, sorry. But you can see there's a couple of people are trying for it. Sean's actually set a faster middle sector in sector 3. Mung's gone fastest in sector 4, and Flapjack's fastest in sector 1, so if any of them can piece one together, Sean's time could be under threat. See if Mung's dropped back a bit now. Looks to be as the tyres just lose their ultimate top performance, the gaps reform. Probably just with the added dirty air and everything, they're not able to follow as much. Both cars bouncing off the wall of the tunnel there. No dramas for Flapjack so far this race. Car's looking immaculate. No scrapes. He's managed to avoid most of the walls, one or two. We'll see how close he gets there though. Dazzler really trying to chase him down. Sean just breaking away from Mung ever so slightly. And that battle is certainly not over. We'll expect to see most of the cars diving back in the next minute or so, so probably the next lap or lap thereafter. We'll see them dive in for their second stops. Although their tyre wear is not going to be as bad as the first stint, as the car is down on fuel, but they are definitely going to want to stop shortly to see Flapjack setting another purple sector. Can he get it? stick with him here as he comes round the back straight to finish the lap. See if he can keep that purple streak alive. Nope. He's losing it through that sector there. Just sector 3, he's not getting sewn up. He's struggling a bit through there. Down 3/10. He's sort of holding it through sector 4. As we see, Sean is going to dive in. Mung is going to push on again. Remember, he stopped after Sean, so still has pretty good tyres compared to guys ahead who stopped earlier. They're not too badly worn on Mung's car. Like I said, he is pretty good at keeping those tyres fresh for as long as possible. I've often asked him about strategies and try to do the strategy he does, and I'm pretty sure my tyres are a lot worse than his. So Sean's been in and out the pits. He's out behind Mungino, so he knows you'll get that place back. It's a very short pit stop here in Tokyo, especially with these cars not needing tyres. One of the bugbears of Gran Turismo is the non-realistic nature of the pit stops. You see Rocker jumping in there in 6th. John heading in again. Not had a great race today, John. See Dazza's jumping in at the front. Maybe he's going to try and undercut Flapjack as Flapjack's starting to catch some traffic. So Rocker pulls over nicely, not slowing Flapjack down. Could be what Dazza's maybe banking on, somebody slowing Flapjack down, but it would only have been Rocker who let him through quite easily. See what Dazza can do on a fresh set now as Mung is wringing the neck of that Ferrari trying to break away. But Sean on the fresh rubber is just closing on him now. Will Mung dive in the pits? He's surely going to see the Delta coming down. He might actually be behind Sean, but oh, Sean gets it way sideways. As you just see there, there's the loss of the aero, but look how close Sean is, but he's not going to get it done. Say this straight, if it can be called straight, is slightly curved, isn't going to let you get through unless you're tucked right in behind the lower wing. You see Flapjack in and out the pits. Where is he going to come out compared to Dazzler? Here's Rocker. Rocker's not going to go past him because Rocker's laps with Dazzler. Didn't pay off for Dazzler stopping early. As we see, Mung is now in the pits. And Sean comes past the pit exit. Mung, you can hear coming out behind. He's also picked up the 2.5 penalty. So that's really going to hurt Mung in the final stages. Sean running penalty free. Mung has a 1.5 second penalty. Mercer having a very lonely race, unfortunately. Loneliest man in Tokyo at the moment. Rocker is in a little bit of a sandwich between Flapjack and Dazzler. Although he's getting blue flags there, he doesn't really need to let him pass at the moment because Dazzler's not that close. Dazzler will be getting a tow, so he will actually be probably appreciating sitting behind him for that little length of time. As you see now, Rocker pulls over and lets him through. Oh, Rocker clouds the pit wall there. Just a little bit too far over, letting Dazzler past. John still going strong. Hats off to this guy. He's not had the best of days today, but he's still ploughing on. See Flapjack teasing with the purple sector again. He is 1/10 up. Seems to be the early sectors Flapjack favours, but he seems to lose time through the second half of the lap. Let's see there, he's already 4/10 down, so he's lost half a second there through that sector. Mung's dropped way back now from Sean. As we're now approaching the last 5 minutes of the race. Not been a massive amount of action. Field spread out pretty quickly, but a couple of little battles, Desert and Flapjack, Sean and Mung throughout the race. Just quite difficult to overtake here unless you get a mistake. And these guys being tier 1 don't make many mistakes. Some of them will probably tell you different, but they make a far less amount of mistakes than I do on the track. So, see Rocket pulling out the way. He just manages to get out the way of Monk. Just Monk caught him there at a really horrible point of the track. You can try ghosting, but it doesn't really work all the time on this game. I've gone through ghosted cars and still managed to hit them. Although I can hear some of you out there saying, Craig, you managed to hit everything on this game. That is very true. And I enjoy doing it. You should see me on third. I definitely hit everything. So, as we're into the last 5 minutes, we'll do another quick run through the field. Sorry, I lost my trail of, I lost what word I needed to use then. You wouldn't think English is my first language, would you? See Flapjack again. He's just that always that 0.4, 0.49, 0.48 of that first sector. Is he gonna be down again as he comes through? Yeah, see, just can't quite carry the momentum through. So we'll run through the field. As I was saying, we've got Flapjack now. He's coming down the back straight to cap off lap 22. We've got Tesla in second with a 1.1 second penalty still to burn off. Mr. Sean in third. He's had a fantastic race holding off Mung, who's really put him under pressure. We've got Mungino in fourth with 1 second left of that penalty to get rid of. It's probably why he's dropping back. He's probably trying to force the penalty to cut down more, maybe in some of the slower sections. Mercer in fifth. See, he is the loneliest man on this track at the moment, but he's got a couple of cars coming up behind him. We've got Rocker in sixth. And we've got John Willemigan in seventh. John is not enjoying today as much as probably he has some other tracks, but like I said, he's plugging along very well. There's absolutely no disgrace in what's happening. It's 100% respect for carrying on racing, seeing the race out. See Flapjack flashing the lights at Mr. Mercer, who's not there. You can't see him, Flapjack. He's round the corner. Ooh, he's managed to keep some speed up through this section. Maybe getting a little bit of a tow from Mercer in front. Can he pinch it? It's going to be very close because he was only just ahead. And he gets it! Coming towards the end of the race, Flapjack finally steals the fastest lap from Mr. Sean. All the light flashing at Mercer, probably you want to thank him, because I think a little bit of slipstream from him helped, as he's 1/10 up through that first sector. And he was still behind Mercer, getting a little bit of a tow again. He's lost some time, but he's still up. Can he go faster again, Flapjack? Got just under 2 minutes left. So we got 2 laps left of this race. He's still up. Can he go faster? Will he do it? All the race where he cannot get quicker. Now he's on literally vapors for fuel. He's going faster. Oh, he loses out through the final sector. Just Fuel light starts to flash. We should have enough fuel to get to the end. This man will be hoping he doesn't, because Dazzler has quite a bit more fuel. So they'll have 2 laps left. This one and one more after. Sean running a little bit low. Monk's very low on fuel and he's picked up more penalties. So with plenty of fuel left. Fuel is not going to be his problem, as he just maybe trying to stay out of the way of Dazzler, his teammate. Incended Racing coming behind, he's just a little bit out of shape, forcing Dazzler around the outside. Rocker's got plenty of fuel to the end, so does John Willimegan. So Flapjack could be cruising now if he wanted. Well, not cruising, but he doesn't need to go flat out, but the racer in him is pushing him to the limit. As he comes around to start his final lap. And his fuel is very low. Will he make it? This is going to be interesting. Dazzler gets through. Start his. Sean and Mung are just going to make it through, I think. Mung's probably hoping they don't. Mung's really catching. I think Sean's fuel saving maybe a little bit too much. Mung's decided he's not going around because he's not going to have enough fuel, although he crossed the line in time anyway. So the first finisher is Mr. Sean. He's followed by Mungino in 4th. Flapjack still ploughing on. He's coming round towards the back straight. Look how low that fuel is now in that car. I think as long as he can get most of the way down the straight, I think he should be okay. Dazzler can push hard to the end. He's no worries about fuel. And see, Rocker's finished in 6th. It's just a red speck now on Flapjack's fuel gauge. And the reason why I'm talking about it so much is it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Flapjack run out of fuel. But he makes it over the line and has to be on 0 fuel. But congratulations to Flapjack. What a great race. He took the hat-trick of pole position, race win, and fastest lap. Dazzler with a fantastic race in 2nd. These two have had a great race, Mr. Sean and Mungino throughout. Mr. Mercer is just coming round to finish. So that's us from Tokyo. Join us next time for round 7 of the DRFS Tier 1.